Hi everyone, today I am going to show you how to make quite a few different versions of these Korker bowls. So there's this one which is the long version, also got the short version as you can see, another long one in checkered instead of dots, and I've even got one attached to a lined clip rather than your traditional bobble. So I'll show you how to do that, and I'll show you how to get yours in a more waterfall effect rather than mine, because one of my loops is twisted the wrong way, which is causing this bit to happen. But I'll show you how to correct that, because again, I'm all about showing you how to resolve things instead of just showing you how to make things. So what you'll need is your scissors to cut your ribbon as normal. You will need some super glue for lining your clip. I have tried this with the glue gun. Unless you work very, very quickly, it doesn't quite work, so this works a little bit better. And this one is one with a brush and a nozzle, because we're going to be using the brush bit. Your cork ribbon. Now, I buy mine already made, purely because I am accident prone as anything, and if I tried to make it myself, because I am so easily distracted by every little thing in the history of the world, I would quite literally set my whole kitchen on fire or do some other sort of damage that would not be very good in the long run. So there is videos out there to make Korker. It's not as complicated as it looks, like I said, and you can make quite a lot of batches and choose your own colours, and you can do your own patterns if you've got patterned 9mm ribbon, etc. But like I said, it's entirely up to you. But like I said, I personally buy it pre-made, and you can buy it from a number of places pre-made, and they range from pieces. I buy mine 80 centimetres long and cut them down to 36 for the long and 15 for the short, and the average one of these corkers needs sort of 8 to 10 to get a nice full look on your pieces. And you can buy them for the 80 centimetre pieces, they're between 45p and 25p for 85 centimetres. You can also get packs, like I said, they range anywhere from about £2 to £5 depending on how many pieces it contained in the packs. So like I said, it's where you find them from. But you'll also need your lighter to heat so your ends, a bobble or a clip depending on what you're actually going to use to attach your corker to, and your extra strength pearl or upholstery thread, as long as it is polyester or higher, not cotton, and it won't snap, you're okay to go. And your thread, as you can imagine, needle, as you can imagine. So I've got my piles ready here, ready to show you, and I'll do the first version on the clip, and I'll show you how to half line a clip as well, because that's a good one to know. I'm going to heat seal the end of my ribbon. What I'll do, this is my favourite thing about this glue, this particular brand, a nice brush for your super glue. And I put that in there just a bit, not even all the way down, just a tab at the end. And then what you do is be careful, make sure you're only getting your super glue ribbon on that super glue and not your fingers, because I have glued myself to these on occasion. Like I said, the adventurers of accident prone crafting. Just use that to push that down, and then again with your brush, and this is why the glue doesn't work, because it kept on bumping the hot glue from the glue gun. You don't need a thick layer, just nice thin. Thin layer like that. Again, be careful to make sure that you don't come in contact with that glue at all. Straight over. Heat seal your end again. If you've got a pair of pliers or something like this, or even another clip like that, use that to keep that open while you do this bit. A little bit on that end there. Okay. Doing that. Nice and firmly down. And then there's one lined completely flat against your clip, like half lined clip. Just do my super glue up so I don't spill it everywhere. I do try and avoid accidents where I can. Okay, so we're going to do the clip version first, and then I'll show you how to attach it to a bobble, because I do it slightly different to the average person. I actually sew through the bobble because I feel like it's more secure than gluing things together. And you'll notice in all of my videos I will always try and sew things instead of gluing wherever I can. So these pieces are shorter ones, and these are about 15 centimetres, because what I have a tendency to do is I don't measure. I take the 80 centimetre piece, cut that in half, and then cut that in half again for these. So like I said, they tend to average depending on how they curl. Like I said, the longer ones are about 34 to 40, depending on how much you have to cut off, because you will notice when you're buying them, depending on who you buy them from, you will sometimes need to cut off the ends a little bit. You'll get like a little kink where the ribbon's been held against a dowel rod with a peg or something like that. So I always cut. You can get something similar on the other end. Get like a little spotchy bit from where it's overly caught against the dowel, and like I said, is slightly damaged, things like that. So I just take that, cut that off, and then heat seal the end. And every single end, both sides, as I was cutting them, I've heat sealed every single one, so we don't have any fraying. But like I said, that's why when I say it starts at 40 and then goes down to about 15, it's because you cut that little bit of excess off on each one, and it brings down the size down a little bit. But like I said, you still get decent length, so don't worry about it too much. So fold in half, and like I said, you want at least 7 to 10 pieces to get them nice and full. So fold it in half, thread your first one, fold it in half, thread your second one. Try and get them to sort of layer over each other as straight as you can. Just makes the fall a little bit nicer. So keep threading until you've got everything on. Like so. And I have an alternative version of this, and it's called a streamer chain. I'll show you a piece in a second, but like I said, it's been very popular. And it's a style like when we used to make, you know, when you were making little bits of pieces, crafting when you were a kid. It's a version of that, really pretty, a little bit alternative. Gives you a different look to these kind of pretty streamer type ones. Gone through both bits there. So last piece. Okay. So like I said, try and line them up a little bit so they're sort of like that. tied up my thread here. You pull that through, and what I do is I hold my fingers apart like that so I can do, and then I loop round. A good couple of times, pull it nice and tight, and then stitch off. And this is going to be the back that we use against the clip. Possibly the front, I haven't decided yet, but we'll have a look in a minute. We'll see which one falls nicer. Right, so on this one, it falls nicer this way than that way. So we're going to glue it that side against the clip, roughly in the centre. Okay. It's a little bit there. Line that up with the centre of the clip and hold that down for a couple of seconds before we start wrapping anything, because we don't want it to shift around and move before we've got it nicely in place. Okay, you see? Once I've adjusted it a little bit in a minute, it will fall pretty nicely. So we're now going to wrap the middle on here. You can move them like that. Got a little centre. Move this out the way a minute. Heat till your end like normal. You just want a dot of glue just here. Open your clip, and you want this right where you've glued the centre to the bow, the clip, and wrap round as you normally would, at least twice. Once. Open your clip, round again, heat seal this end. Yep, because I've done just enough today to not have to cut off any excess. Do hold those out of the way when you're going to do a bit of gluing, because you don't want to get glue all over your cork ribbon and ruin your make before we've even finished. Okay, so what you can do now is, if you twist them down like so, give them a good little, excuse the visual there. There you go. There is your corker. Nice on your clip. Like I said, you can play around with them. Get them adjusted until they fall down how you want them. But like I said, that looks cute, super cute above a pigtail if you can't get bobbles into your child's hair yet. Okay, and this is the sewed through the bobble. I like seamless bobbles, and I'll tell you a trick. The less you can see this seam, the better quality your bobbles will tend to be. So if yours is very, very noticeable, and you give it a pull, it will literally eventually snap. So like I said, the more force a child puts on it, or the more force an adult puts on it to put it in the child's hair, the more likely it is to rip apart if you can see it. If it's nicely joined and you can barely see it and it feels really, really strong, you can literally hold it and you can feel the glue, then you tend to have a good quality bobble. And you don't have to spend a fortune on them, like I said. And normally, if you go with what your child prefers and you know doesn't snap yourself, that's the best versions to sort of pick up where you can. And what I do is just next to that seam, from underneath, so you're within the loop, is I go through. So like that, that's what it looks like. And I'll push it halfway through, and then I'll do exactly the same as what we just did for the clip. In half, straight through. In half, straight through, and repeat till you've got all your pieces. And again, on these shorter ones, you still need sort of 7 to 10 pieces, depending on how full you like your corker to look. I like mine to be reasonably full, so I know some people that prefer like the 5-piece look, so you've got like 10 either side, but like I said, it's up to you, all about personal choices. Same with the clips, I've just shown you how to do it. If you can make a version that looks a little bit nicer or sits a little bit nicer for you, then go ahead and do it your way. I just like to give you as many options as I can, where I can. Stops it getting boring then. Who wants to learn the same thing over and over again when there is quite literally, I was telling people who know me in the bow world, that if I so choose to and had enough time and stop procrastinating, spending ridiculous amounts of time doing stupid things that I get distracted by, I could quite honestly make a tutorial every day from the ones I want to translate from Portuguese and Brazil and Russian and all the other different languages that they're currently in. If I translated one, or even one a day or 5 a week, I could have enough tutorials left over to last me 6 years. Which is a long time when you think about it. 6 years of making a different bow every day. I could, but even I'm not that crazy. Although I do two to 4 tutorial films in one day on occasion when I'm in the mood to. So yeah, I'm just a crazy bow lady. You know how you meet those crazy cat ladies? Yeah, no, that's me about those. Tangled. There we go. Thread that off however you prefer. So you get that nice there. I've got our little 9mm to wrap it. And we'll heat seal that. Get a little glue gun right over there. Did that very awkwardly then. Hold that right over the glue. And then wrap round at least twice. And if you can avoid it and you're less messy than I do, try not to get glue all over your fingers. Like I said, I have no sensitivity in the tips of mine nowadays. You seal that end, and we just want a dot of glue just there. And now press that down. And there we go. There is another finished corker. If you've got any particularly long ones because you sort of overestimated or anything like that, then don't be afraid. This is what I do. And then give all your ends a little heat seal. and that will sort of balance out. If you need to, you can do that on your longer ones as well, and on your, and like I said, give them a little wiggle. That's what I like to do. And then, like I said, you get this look. And again, they look absolutely adorable above ponytails or pigtail sets. And you can do lots of different colours and styles. Like I said, I've got the dotted ones, I do plain ones, I like mixing colours and doing rainbow ones. I even got some checked versions, and like I said, if you I'll put a link if I can find some. I will see if I can add some links for making your own corker as well. So like I said, I don't mind pointing you in the direction of other people if so needed. It's all about supporting each other and helping everyone learn. That's what I'm about. So like I said, there's your little short ones. I like these to look a little bit messy at times. That's just my choice. There we go, that's better. On your clip. On your clip. There you go. And that is how you make corker bubbles. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I absolutely love making these tutorials for you all. Excuse my hate mess in the background. Thank you for watching. Like I said, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to be notified when I release new videos. It is normally on a Monday and a Friday, and I do that every single week, but I also put random videos out whenever I get distracted by wanting to show you something, which is all the time, to be quite honest. I also have a Facebook group under Catherine's Ribbon Bow Tutorials and Follow-alongs, so if you need any more help or advice for anything, or you want to know suppliers, things like that, then pop over there and pop me some questions and I will help you as much as I can. I will also do extra lives for you if you need it, and do any follow along pictures if you still need some sort of help on there. And I'm very responsive and quick to help wherever I can, and if I can't help you, I'm always willing to point you in the direction of somebody who will be able to. So thank you for watching again. Thanks, bye.